Hello everyone, this is Sam. I'm here once again to tell you an original story written by myself. You don't have to directly look at the screen because it's just one photo constantly. So sit back, relax, and do what it is you do during these videos. Thank you, and let's begin. The sun rose just above a sign labeled Old Stump. People began to stare directly north at a man riding a horse. He was a complete mystery coming into this small town. No one knew him or why his horse was levitating 4 feet off the ground, and at that, why was it sideways? Its rider was hanging at a 120-degree angle facing down on the left side of the horse. He was dressed in all black and had on a hat that looked like it was pulled out of a fever dream as he rode into town. He approached the saloon and tied his horse onto some old guy passed out drunk on the stairs. As he stepped off, a drunk man screamed at him, "You don't belong here, stranger." The stranger slammed an iron rod into the side of his head and whispered, "You don't belong being alive." He walked into the saloon with all eyes on him. The creaking floorboard was so loud many ears started to bleed. He went up to the bar and sat down at a stool. The bartender looked at him and said, "What would it be, stranger?" The stranger said, "Information on someone." He paused. "Well, you're gonna need a few things to get information," the bartender said with a smile. "First, you'll need a drink, and second, I'll need your name and why you're in town." The stranger began to speak once more. "The name's Sam." He paused once again. "Samuel L. Feeder. I'm hunting a man named Texas Red who's allegedly in the town." Sam started staring at him, looking for a sign in his eyes that said the bartender knew him. He got what he wanted when the bartender's eyes grew wide with worry. The bartender said in a low voice, "And what will be your final drink?" Sam smiled and said, "Vodka with a small amount of lemonade in it." The bartender nodded, pulled out a clear bottle and a pitcher, and then poured both into a glass. Sam grabbed both the bottle of vodka and the pitcher of lemonade and started to chug them at the same time. At this point, the entire bar was in shock as Sam chugged both at speeds that would make a college frat boy look jealous. Sam finished up the drinks and said, "Anyone have any info on Texas Red?" The bar was silent for a few moments, and then a patron said, "You a Utah Ranger?" Sam smirked and said, "No, I'm an Arizona Ranger." Another person said, "Why is Texas Red in Utah and you're an Arizona Ranger?" Sam spoke up and said in a firm voice, "Because that's how I like it." Sam set down a few gold coins and said, "Tell Texas Red I'm taking him to New York, dead or alive." Texas Red was not as anyone may have imagined. He was a giant 3D picture of Texas with the face of Richard Nixon on it. In his left hand he held a pistol with the blood of 20 different Rangers on it, all sent to kill him. They had gone after him for the Zodiac killings years ago. But what was Sam doing on the set of A Million Ways to Die in the West 2? He pondered that before a bar patron came up to Texas Red. "Sir, he's here," was all he said before a sudden bang. The patron fell to the ground and died in moments. "He's just another man to add to my list." It was dusk as Sam and Texas Red approached each other. The clock tower showed 11:20 and both sides were dead serious. Sam said to Texas Red, "It's nice to meet you again, Ted Cruz." Sam threw a spear through the disguise, and in place of Texas Red was Ted Cruz, now in a business suit and holding the pistol, with 20 different Rangers' blood on it. "Samuel L. Feeder, by law, you were banned from the United States 17 different times, and yet you're here." Ted Cruz smiled. "This ends now." Ted Cruz shot Sam straight in the forehead and smiled. He turned to walk away when he heard a burp from Sam. He turned and got smacked in the face with the bottle of vodka. Sam drank from the bar. Sam burped once again and shouted, "Don't you know I can't die, dumbass?" Sam stood up and held another empty bottle of vodka. It was there like magic. It had never existed before, but he had made it. Soon, multiple bottles of vodka, all empty, were being thrown at Ted Cruz. Paranoid, Ted Cruz unloaded every last round he had into Sam. The bottle shattered as he fell to the ground once more. Before he hit the ground, Sam disappeared into thin air. Ted Cruz looked around frantically and eventually locked eyes with Sam. He had a smirk on his face so wide it extended off of his face. "My turn," Sam said slowly and with malice in his voice. The rod from before extended at speeds that broke the sound barrier, and soon the rod extended from Sam's right hand into the head of Ted Cruz. The end of the rod near Ted Cruz's head started to come back to Sam, and eventually the metal rod went back to its original shape and size. Sam went back to his horse, finished. However, it had somehow died. But on the bright side, it was still floating at a 100-degree angle. Sam held his hand close to his chest. He reached into himself and quickly tore out his own heart. Time seemed to slow. Sam looked at you through the screen. "Oh yeah, if this is your first time here, you may be asking yourself, what's the deal?" Well, I break physics, and I respawn every time I die. So, those bottles of vodka? Yeah, I made them using physics break. Oh yeah, and time should restart soon, so I'll be right back with my own heart. Sam fell to the ground as everything disappeared. But his heart still stood. Time was now flowing. But Sam was no longer there. Soon he reappeared from behind an outhouse next to the stairs that the old man was on from before. He grabbed the heart and shoved it into the horse, and as if he turned a key in a car, the horse jolted to life. Sam hopped on the horse as it sprinted off into the glowing moon out east, dragging along the old man with him.